session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second, any discussion? We are now in executive session.
Since we have everybody out here, I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session. We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We are out of executive session. I will read the certification of executive session. Whereas the Tazewell Town Council has convened an executive session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.1-344.1 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this council that such executive session was conducted in conformity with Virginia law, now therefore be it resolved that the Tazewell Town Council hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the executive session to which this certification resolution applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the executive session were heard, discussed, or considered by the Tazewell Town Council. We need to go with a roll call vote. Councilmember Takish?
Aye.
Councilmember King? Aye. Councilmember Fox? Aye. Councilmember Klein? Aye. Vice Mayor Higgins? Aye. Councilmember Willis? Aye. All right, all those ayes, motion carries. All right, and then I'll call to order the public hearing. We have a public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant Funds for North Tazewell Revitalization Project. I'll read this notice and then we'll accept comments from the public. Notice of public hearing, Community Development Block Grant Funds, CDBG. The Town of Tazewell will hold a public hearing at 7:15 on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026 at the Town Hall of Tazewell, the Town of Tazewell Town Hall, 211 Central Avenue, Tazewell, Virginia 24651, to solicit public input on a proposed Community Development Block Grant CDBG application to be submitted to the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development for the Town of Tazewell, North Tazewell Downtown Facade Improvement Project. Residents of the project area are encouraged to attend. The project will include the following activities: facade improvements. The draft CDBG proposal will be presented for comment along with information on projected beneficiaries, including the number of low to moderate income residents to benefit from the proposed project and plans to minimize displacement. Citizens will also be given the opportunity to comment on the Town of Tazewell's past use of CDBG funds. A fact sheet on the proposed project is available at the Town of Tazewell's Town Hall. For additional information, contact Leanne Regan, Town Manager. Comments and grievances can be submitted in writing to Town of Tazewell, 211 Central Avenue, Tazewell, Virginia 24651, or by phone 276-988-2501, fax 276-988-2505, TDD line 711, or email Leanne Regan at tazmanager@taztown.org until June 8th, 2026 at 4 p.m. If you plan to attend and have any special needs or requirements, please call the number listed above. I need to read that off part, but I guess I do. All right. With that, I'll open the floor for public comment. All right. Last call. And with that, I'll close the public hearing. And we'll reconvene at 7:30 for the regular town council meeting. All right, we'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Nate, could you please lead us on invocation?
Love to. Heavenly Father, Lord, thanks so much for our time this evening, that we have a beautiful evening to come out and gather that we have faithful servants and representatives here that serve us so well. Ask that you watch over us at our meeting tonight, that you would descend the spirit of peace on us, that business could be done the right way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please be seated. All right, we're going to start the meeting with some special presentation requests. We're going to start with the Tazewell Youth Football League support request. I'm going to read it.
We have received a support request from the Tazewell football boosters. I have a letter here from them. On behalf of the Tazewell football boosters, we respectfully request a donation of $700 or any amount greater that the town of Tazewell may graciously consider to support our football program during the summer training and the 2026 football season. These funds help provide essential resources for our student athletes, including equipment, training opportunities, team meals, transportation, and other program needs that contribute to a successful and rewarding season. Your support directly impacts the development, safety, and success of our players while fostering community pride and school spirit. We sincerely appreciate your consideration and continued commitment to the youth of Tazewell. Thank you for helping us provide a positive and memorable experience for our student athletes on and off the field. Sincerely, Tazewell football boosters.
They didn't list in there how many participants they had, did they?
They did not.
Did they even fill out the donation?
Well, they did. It's just very blurry.
Gotcha.
And I could not make anything out on there.
So what's the second tier? We gave them, commission last year. Walking down.
It's actually done with this.
It was to tackle the piece, right? Last year, we provided tackle wheels, and that was what the contribution was from last year.
I mean, I know last year I announced Little League night, and between cheerleaders and football players, there's well over 100, so.
I was thinking last year we gave them $900.
They asked for one tackle wheel, which I thought was around $300, and then we had two.
We did, prayer notes, did 900 last
No.
I'll make a motion for the Little League program to donate $1,000 for equipment and for whatever we need to be.
They said the 700.
Okay, I'm very sorry. I didn't hear what your motion was.
He had a motion for a $1,000 donation to the Little League.
No, we got over 100, I know that. 100 ball players, what's their little cheerleaders.
So I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We've got a second. Is there any discussion?
So and town manager, I may need a little assistance on this, but based on our line item for mayor and town council discretionary donations, we're $7,300 over budget. If that's accurate, could we put this into the next fiscal year, since we're in June, and have it start on our next cycle? They'd be the first ones of the year.
Yes, Michelle.
And what's our?
The guidelines are for 50 to 150 is 100 to 700.
So I would also recommend that we adjust the motion to go to the $700 max to stay within our guidelines, stay equitable with the other community efforts that we support.
You start space, I was going to get this one.
Now, if you look at the Little League program, it's got the cheerleaders, and that's going to add up over, the amount, from 700, I think 1,000 would be straight out.
I think if they ask for 700 and they can get by with the 700, again, to keep us in our parameters, we have guidelines in place for a reason. I think we do the 700.
I think just to keep things consistent, I don't think we go outside those prices.
With with that discussion, do you want to amend your motion, or do we
Well,
want
that's been my motion 700, that's what everybody wants to go through. I mean, they got to have it.
okay, so we're going to
We're
amend.
growing up to be Tazewell football, I hope not, no other team.
Okay, so now we have an amended motion. Councilmember King, do you want to,
I'll second.
you second it still? All right, do we have any discussion on the new motion?
Just, are we putting it in the next fiscal year?
Yes, please.
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, I didn't know if that needed to be stated in the motion.
If we're clear, we're clear.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, next on the agenda, Tazewell County Historical Society support increase request. Councilmember Fox.
I give my age is, go for it anyway. I think the Historical Society, they have a video camera that they want to keep on motivating with. And they need some extra money for this. I know you've got a lot of family members that's living in other county states that like to, come back and at their home and look at Tazewell, Main Street, and see people walking around and all that, and vehicles going by. I think that if we, they need to keep that camera going, and I think it's $2,000 what they had, but they want to live at more than $2,000. I'd like to see $5,000 on that for that issue, because there's a lot of family members, there's a lot of people that live in different states that would like to see Main Street, and they'd like to keep that camera going so they can see this. So I recommend $5,000 for this, for the Historical Society on the purpose of the camera. And I think that will help the people that live in other states and look at the camera and see a live video on Main Street, who's walking, what's going on, plus the Main Street movements. When they have that, they could look at it. And I think that would be something that would look good for the Historical Society.
So you said you were making a recommendation. Right. Are you making a motion, or do you want to open it for discussion before we make a motion?
Today, I'm just making a motion for $5,000.
Okay, you made a motion. That's the wording I need to hear. I've got a motion for a $5,000 donation to the Tazewell County Historical Society.
Based on the camera?
Well,
The camera, the use of the camera, that they're asking for a little bit more. I got this from Dr. Mullins. He was telling me about this issue, which I haven't had the first meeting yet. He's requesting if we can bring it up to more than 2,000.
Okay, so hold on, let's wait 1 second, because we have a motion on the floor, and we'll see if it gets a second, we'll discuss. If we don't get a second, then we'll discuss. Okay, do we have a second for the motion of $5,000 donation?
So, the only thing I don't mind to help with the camera, but does it need to be 5,000? Could we do like 3,000? If they're needing 2,000, could we just go up to 1,000?
They are currently set in your upcoming budget for $2,000.
Okay.
so I had talked to, do you want to go with the second, or?
Yeah.
I'll just wait on the discussion.
So,
I got a little bit more context.
so is anybody going to second the motion as is? Okay, that motion dies.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll open the floor back up for discussion.
So I also talked to Dr. Mullins, and perhaps Ms. Reeves, I think you're part of the Historical Association, is that correct? Not anymore? Okay. Not ever. But he gave me a little bit more on their expenses. So the camera's cost include, it's $45 a month. The electricity's averaging out about $270 a month. And then the Spectrum Internet, which maybe they should shop a different provider, $145 per month. He said that they also have water and sewer and insurance to $1,600 a month. So their total operating charges come out to $7,120. He asked for support. What I told him was perhaps the way to do it, because we're going to be finalizing our budget, is we've got it set for now, and we could approach it into the next fiscal year through a budget amendment, if that helps move the process forward for our budget. Do you have any input regarding that? Basically, with it being the last, we're at the tail end of the budget season, is it easier to do an amendment
Yes.
procedurally?
You all could go ahead and approve the budget this evening, and then if you all voted to increase that donation to them, yes, Jessica could do a budget amendment for the FY27 budget.
Okay.
So you want to go 5?
No, what I'd like to do is just table it for this evening, and then I'd like to know, like, what other lines of support that they have. I think it's a valuable instrument for the town, but basically, I'm just saying, we don't have enough information yet, because if we do just 5,000, and they've got a $2,100 shortfall, like, well, nice attempt, but we didn't miss the mark, you know what I mean? So that's my recommendation, is table it for now. We run with the 2,000 in the next fiscal year budget, and then re-attack it with them shortly, so we can actually, meet the need if that's what we decide to do.
So you're saying 7,000?
Would you all like me to approach Dr. Mullins to ask if he would like to come before the July meeting? So if you have questions, that might be helpful.
I would like to see that happen.
Okay.
Get in touch with him.
Be great. Are we in agreement to table it to next month?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Try to help.
Moving forward. Next, we have Mitchell Street water drainage concerns. Elena Quinn. Please step forward. Yes.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me and my brother to speak to you tonight. I appreciate it. My name is Elena Quinn. My brother is Patrick, and he'll be talking to you in just a minute. I'd like to address the issue of the 3rd Street water runoff that has been impacting our property on Mitchell Street in North Tazewell for many years, despite our ongoing efforts to resolve the problem both on our own and through town maintenance officials. For your convenience, we've provided pictures of what the water has done and continues to do to the property, and Patrick will hand those to you and will ask you to look at these in a few minutes as he's better able to articulate the situation and answer more technically detailed questions, given that he's the one who's been closely monitoring all of this over an extended period of time. In addition to the issue of the runoff, we would like some answers as to who okayed a clean-out sewer line that is not for our home to be placed on our property without our knowledge. Again, Patrick can speak more directly to that, as well as to some property easement issues and the dangers of a deteriorating road. Last week I did speak to Leanne about the runoff issue and also told her about the sewer cleanout that appeared on our property one day. And prior to my call with her, she had spoken with Patrick in January about the runoff issue. And workers did come in April to rebuild a berm that previously had been destroyed by work the town did. She's been open to listening to our concerns and has been very gracious, and I appreciate that. And she has been investigating what was shared with her in regards to this issue. She's agreed that based on what she has learned so far, this matter is one that requires not just town workers, who I know are doing their best to tackle the problem, but also the insights of an engineer who might actually devise a permanent fix. We've been dealing with this issue since 2018. We've owned the property for 20 years, and it was not like this when we bought the property. The runoff has cost us a significant amount of time and money and inconvenience over the years, thousands of dollars, dozens of hours, weeks when we were unable to access part of our driveway. I'm confident that the town has also spent considerable times and funds on what at the end of the day has ended up providing only temporary solutions and pretty much Band-Aid fixes. The constant erosion of our driveway has been the biggest expense because it's asphalt, and no matter how many times we've replaced the driveway or have had it patched at the lower end where the water runs, it eventually is destroyed by the runoff water. Our basement has flooded numerous times, leaving us with mud, moisture, and mayhem as things have floated, and Patrick will show you a picture of that, and lots to contend with in that regard. We've positioned rocks, bought sandbags, concrete, dirt, hay, and even gravel to try to fix this problem on our own, but all to no avail. Please know that over the years, both Patrick and I have made phone calls, spoken in person to whomever would listen, and have been available whenever we were told someone would show up and resolve the issue. Many times after canceling personal meetings, delaying out-of-town trips, and even changing doctor appointments, the town has been a no-show. Coming in front of you is our last resort. Frankly, we're exhausted by it all, which is why we're here tonight. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Patrick because he's going to walk you through the pictures, and he's got those in folders for each of you, to more exactly explain to you how so many endeavors to address this problem have failed. And again, I thank all of you for your time and listening to what we have to say.
Let's turn down. Let's turn over here, please. James, I need further rules.
Thanks. Here you go.
My name's Patrick. If you open it up, that first page, basically any couple day of rain, that's what it does. I mean, it just comes off through there. It runs underneath the guy's house back there. Did you see the picture of it? The next picture now, that's a whole different storm, number 2. That's where the drain was when actually the town did come put a ditch in there, concrete, but it's not working, so we put the pipe in. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And number 3, that was a different storm. If you pull the driveway, and then number 4, that's what started it off. And they moved the sewer line, Tommy Pruitt, put the 24-inch pipe in there and put the sewer line up through. When they did, they only they left the small pipe. And when it went around, I guess they didn't have the slope. So there it is. And then they went in the yard, went to my house, and they wired off and went up the yard and went to the lake. That's what she was talking about, the cleanup. And number 5, that's just water that floods. I know that one hot water heater and 3 dehumidifiers had been replaced over the years. And now number 6, that's a picture of the ditch that they put, that they did. And I've seen them do that, in my opinion, they put like 1.5 feet of gravel and just put concrete on top of it. So it's like, to me, it's like a French drain. But if you look right here, this pipe right here, that water is running in there and washing out the bottom of the driveway. And then these pictures here are kind of hard to explain to you, but when they put that pipe in, you see the concrete. You see how much higher the concrete is than the pipe, so the water, I mean, I ain't seen the water on the concrete except the sprinkles on it. But when they did that, they went up to the other end, picture number 8. And you see that there's a hole. And they just dug a hole, put some pavement, so all the pavement's caved in, and that's the end of the pipe. And then at number 10, that my neighbor, which I might need, granted him a 10-foot right of way, right now it's 7 foot. And we did ask the town, maybe, if they put a grade over it or something. Because if somebody runs in, he'll hit that pipe, he'll bust a tire, be the rim. It's just been ongoing. The berm thing, I mean, there's just one end that they look towards the driveway. I guess David said he's gonna get that. But I mean, yeah, that's something. Then, you know, the concrete bags on the other end. Looks like keeps it out of the yard. Worst thing about that driveway I got to there, when Tommy Pruitt was here, the guy that lives in that house at the end, that driveway would dig 2 ditches about that deep. And Tommy Pruitt just come up and got 20-ton gravel filled up. Next storm, down the road it went. But appreciate y'all, and maybe, you know, you get a look at it and see what you think. I mean, it is washing out the bottom of the driveway.
And Leanne,
Now,
you're aware,
picture of that.
if you want to give a little more insight from your,
So I spoke with Mr. and Ms. Oakland both. I mean, I think that you can hear from both of them that the town has been aware. The town has went and tried to remediate what we could. However, I think that what I'm understanding is the problem is not just at their property. It is up on 3rd Street, which is up on the hill from their property. And it's a stormwater runoff issue, more so than just at their local level at their property. I have a great confidence in my staff. However, I don't want us doing work and putting water on someone else and then creating another additional problem. If we are going to try and remedy this, I do think it needs to be looked at by an engineer. There could be some grant dollars from DEQ to help with stormwater runoff. If you all would direct me to move forward in some capacity, I can absolutely look into those grant dollars. But at this time, I feel that the public works staff has tried to do what they can. So I think it's at a greater point of beyond us right now.
and we, even when looking for grant dollars, we can go ahead and start working towards that.
We could contact engineering and have them come and meet with the Oakwinds and go to the property and go up to actually the site of where the runoff happens. I do think that there would be other property owners that would be affected because we would need probably some drainage through their property, which would mean that we need easements and that type of thing. But I think that's where we're at right now.
Why do you think it starts on 3rd Street?
Slaughter Street, which is also 3rd Street, the water will run down Slaughter Street. It comes to 3rd. It goes where the point of 3rd Street and Slaughter Street, it runs back on down 3rd Street, and it runs down. There's a pond. Is the pond in this picture?
Well, actually, the Stouts who lived there, I believe they had to take care of the court and stop that water from in that pond. Now it comes off like you said, 5th Street.
Yes.
And shoots right over the hill. I mean, like that no waterfall. Runs underneath the house, just a river.
So it comes off Slaughter Street.
The first low spot, yep. And then 3rd Street too. But you know, if you think about 3rd Street, when you go up here, if you're driving up it, the whole left side side's up on the hill, so that water's gonna go somewhere.
I'd go ahead and get the engineer to look at that.
If you all would direct me to do that, I'm very open to that.
Let's just buy the property.
Run into taxes. Well, but that's not, still not treating the root cause to it.
You wouldn't be wrecking his house.
Right, but the picture you showed us, your neighbor, I guess, Mr. Monk,
Yeah, Mr. Monk, yeah, he's had a lot of problems.
because he's got the same issues.
He runs,
And it's running
he's
past
the one that
yours.
shoots off the hill and runs where his house goes.
So Patrick, you know, so if you're standing on 3rd Street and you get ready to go up past Holland, you know the house that sits in the bottom?
Going up the street, make top of the hill.
Yeah, don't turn on the slaughter. There's a house that sits over the bottom. Have you ever seen all the water that comes out of there?
You're right, that's just water that runs underneath his house.
So you get that water too.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And they like to make, this shoots over the hill there in their mom's house.
That's a lot of water coming out of the water.
Well, I tell you what, you're taking nowhere else to go, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And if I may I say something? When we bought the property, it didn't do that. So I don't know what happened to all of a sudden cause that problem, but it has eroded the yard in a way that when we bought the property 20 years ago, that wasn't like that.
I still try to get an engineer to look at all that.
Right. We don't really know what the cause was.
So if I hear the consensus of council is we want engineering work to, or have Leanne get engineering work started and pursue grants. Yeah, for stormwater runoff.
Didn't that one time they had a project up there? To block, something built to block that water, do something with it, and they didn't do it years back.
I'm not sure of that.
Put a George on. She said they should have done that then, and you wouldn't have a problem.
We'll make sure they take a look at it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
So I will contact engineers and try to start working on getting a date, and we'll meet, and I'll keep you guys in touch.
Next on the agenda is road conditions. Gene Davidson. Is Gene Davidson here? She's not here. She's not here. Okay. Leanne, do you have any more information, or should we just move on to it?
I just know that she wanted to talk about road conditions. I do have a paving update later.
I was about to say, that sounds like a good time for a road update.
Do you want me to do it now, or is the project update later on? It's on the agenda.
All right, we'll stick with that. We'll do that later. All right. All right, and we got one more. Sorry, next we have local business recognition. We've got Uncharted Adventures with Billy and Wendy Jeffers. Please come forward and tell us a little bit about your business.
Thank you guys for having us down here. Uncharted, we started in West Virginia about 4 years ago. We had a store in Beckton, we had one in Brookport. We thought it would be a good asset to come to Tazewell, and it has been. Tazewell is welcome to the school with open arms. We sell backwood mowers, tractors, and side-by-sides and four-wheelers and motorcycles. We participated in the rally in town this weekend. I seen you there, which was a huge event.
Save me from walking up a hill or two.
We have bear archery.
But we got bear archery, and of course, we're trying to keep stuff in the price range for everybody here, and we feel that we've done well with everybody. Everybody's welcome, it's good, and we try to help the community all we can. We've been a little bit of everything for everybody, so.
Good. I like to ask when businesses are here, if you don't care, make sure and give us your address and best ways to contact you. That way it gets on the video and free advertisement, right?
We are, let's see, there's two different addresses for the building, depends if you're with the truck or not. Truckers still use the old Brad's address, which is 629 East Riverside Drive. No. But the new one is,
Riverside.
yeah, it's 3315 Riverside. That's the new correct address. You can't tell a truck that because they end up down at the farmer's market.
Gotcha.
Imagine that, and you can reach us at 276-385-7103.
You guys have Facebook?
We do have Facebook, emailOutdoors.com.
Whenever we have businesses come in, we always let you leave with a gift, and I get a picture of it. Yeah, this is both you all.
I'll let you stand by the brother.
And we appreciate y'all bringing your business to town and all that you do.
Yeah, they've been good so far.
I want to take an opportunity to go off agenda here. I noticed we've got some scouts in the crowd. Would you guys like to come up and say anything? Well, we appreciate it.
Okay. I'm Charles Bland, the Scoutmaster, and we're here because of Citizenship and Community Murder Day.
Okay.
And so this is Tom Ewing, his brother Clayton's here, and y'all spotted him $200 for his Eagle Scout project.
Yes.
Okay, this is Carter Street. This is Daniel Curl. This is Emmy's Curl. She placed first place in cabinet making in the state of Virginia. And then she just come back from we just want to get a picture in the paper.
If y'all want to come up in front? You guys and your efforts.
The last group that was here, we had 3 Eagle Scouts.
That's great.
And these are all first class.
Well, we thank y'all. Thank you for all.
Thank you for being here. Thank
Moving forward, we have the approval of the minutes for the council meeting on May 12th, 2026, the special call meeting between Town Council and IEDA on May 13th, 2026, and the public hearing on May 28th, 2026. I'll open the floor for discussion or entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Next on the agenda is the approval of financial statements and financial report for May 2026. I'll open the floor for comments or entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
We've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have committee and conference updates. First, we have the Planning Commission Committee, Zoning, Building, and Property Maintenance Official Hurley.
We met last Monday, June 1st. We had 3 main things on the agenda. One was cannabis. we tabled that till we find out what the state does on their laws. Accessory dwelling units, I think the commission directed Brad to get ahead of the law that was signed into law April of this year for accessory dwelling units. It'll take effect July 1st next year. And the third thing was shipping containers. We left them in the industrial zone. We're going to add it to a couple other zones, we just left it like it was.
I have a question on that one though. So we're basically saying that everybody with one is grandfathered in, right?
Right.
Everyone with what?
It's just a
Shipping. All right.
Okay, we're sorry. So the people that have these are for individual use. They're not being rented out. There's a difference.
Right, yeah. Can't set them on a lot and rent them out.
But the gentleman in question is renting his out.
He took the sign down.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I got another question, and brought it up a few times, kind of like a broken record at this point. And I'm inquiring on the capital improvements plan. So I'm looking at our charter code. There's supposed to be a 5-year capital improvements plan that lists out the projects, and it's supposed to be updated annually. And we've talked about it, and you know, we had a lady on the agenda earlier tonight. She didn't show up, but she was interested in talking about road conditions. And I think the reason that that's written in there is so that we've got a roadmap for where we're going in terms of capital improvements, and it gets updated annually. So you got projects at top priority. So we just had a discussion on stormwater. You know, where's that fit in the paving? I'm interested in exploring that further, particularly. My time's going to end here, but I do think that that's a tool that could be useful to manage expectations publicly, to have a plan and a vision for how we're going to obligate our budget for the necessities that we need, the reasons that we're taxed, right? To upkeep the public utilities and public goods. Do you have any thoughts on that? Have you seen it in play before? Like,
No, always the town manager and the public works director always done the paving jobs and all that. The planning commission didn't dictate any of that.
right, but we do have it in our charter. I get the charter and code confused sometimes. We can pull it out and look at it. But if it's not used, why? And should we use it as just a practice? Just curious if you have any thoughts.
I have thoughts on paving specifically. In-house, we are more apt to hear of there's potholes on this road condition is poor. I feel that in-house, we are more knowledgeable of road conditions. I feel that specifically on paving, if the planning commission were to direct me as to what needed to be paved, do they actually know the concerns from the citizens and from a public works standpoint? I have that concern, specifically for paving.
Right. So your concern is with, as the rules are written, basically you've got a committee that's not capable of producing a plan for your capital improvements.
I don't feel that they would have the best knowledge of what actually needed to occur.
And do you think that that could be something that's very similar to, like, well, for example, with us in the budget, we rely upon your expertise and knowledge of the day-to-day operations and knowledge of, well, if we're talking paving, how much we need to obligate towards paving in the future. Is this just another product that is heavily influenced by the town manager because she is in the day-to-day operations? Basically, if so, that's okay, because that's very similar to how we work our budget. But I think that we're failing to plan, so you're planning to fail, that type of thing. But we know, I think we have competing interests, right? We've got several projects, and I'll talk about this further with the comprehensive plan update. we have wants and responsibilities. And if I'm looking out based on what the wants are in that, I think that we could get misaligned for what our responsibilities are. And that's the reason that I'm bringing that up in terms of the tool that we can use to lay out our priorities. So, think on it for a month. Maybe we can talk about it again next month.
Chris and I had actually talked about it within the May council meeting to the June council meeting. We did talk about it a
If
little
the
bit.
planning commission becomes responsible for reporting to y'all about that, we'll just have to bring Dave and her to our meetings. So, just be.
I don't follow.
I mean, we get all the information from them, because we're not gonna have that information on our side.
Okay.
Well, I can give you a list of something that needs paid.
So can send it to them.
No, but mine's up here. When we put people on these committees, they should have a certain knowledge of what's going on in the town. You know, I mean, I'm big on housing, but like, I'm still on some toes here. Y'all had the salt bomb. So they were patching down there last week. I mean, that's not getting it done. I mean, it's just not getting it done. And like you said, our citizens deserve better.
A whole lot better. We need to get everything paid. We need to pay Sandcastle and get that done.
We're going to talk about paving here just a little.
They've already started on that. We paid Trailer Street.
You stole my thunder, Chris.
Take it away. All right, so from a council member perspective, you know, when we're out in town and talking to folks, you go to the grocery store, you get hit with 30 town questions, right? We were able to point to a document and say, all right, you're concerned about Locust Street. I don't know how that one's looking right now. All right, it's right here. We're coming to that one 2027. You know, there's I think the reason it's written into the guidelines is because it creates order. And we don't have that structured, and we don't know what's coming. So most of the time when we get asked about the street, we're like, talk to me in, I guess we're gonna get to it when we get there. But we can be more orderly than that, and that's gonna become really important when you balance what you want tos versus the have tos. That's the reason I'm bringing it up.
When you have that comprehensive plan, or the capital improvement plan for them, how bound are you to that?
It's updated annually based on, I mean, we can go look at is it the charter or the code? I'm sorry, I'm getting those confused. But it's supposed to be updated annually.
Okay.
So it's a 5-year plan, and then it gets voted on and approved, I guess, annually.
And the reason why I ask is because we all know come March and April, after the paving trucks come through, you got a whole new list of problems. I always tell people, March and April are pothole season, May and June are paving season, right?
Right.
So as long as we be able to adjust and take every year, I guess you would schedule the update to be, you know, at the end of March or June.
Yeah, I don't recall reading that there's a explicit due date for when it has to be approved.
Right.
But I do remember reading the language that it's annually.
Gotcha. So discuss more on that next month.
Sounds good.
Okay. Moving forward, was there any other questions for Chris? Okay. Moving forward, Tazewell Today update. Nate Thomas, President, Tazewell Today.
I'd like to talk about paving. Goodness, yes, please don't kick me out of here. Folks, it has been a month for Tazewell Today. I don't want to keep it too long, but I do want to share several things if you'll grant me that grace. I know all of you are aware, most of our folks are aware, we are currently without an executive director. Mrs. Davis resigned, and the board of directors has opted not to hire a replacement at this time. With the busy summer season, we felt like hiring somebody and throwing them right into the deep end of the pool would be a disaster. So we went through the Department of Housing and Community Development, Virginia Main Street, to just make sure we were okay to temporarily run without a paid employee, and we are for a season. Now we'll have to revisit that a little later. What that's likely to look like for Tazewell today is a restructuring of sorts, probably a part-time director to manage the Main Street designation and really dive into what benefit that can be. And there are some real benefits. I've been trying to do some reading and educate myself more. To foster some real positive relationships with our businesses on Main Street, all the way from House of Taylor down past back to the Dragon. I know that's technically outside of the historic district. That doesn't mean we can't promote and partner with them on events and things going on in their establishments. We want to build some goodwill in town. And our board of directors, I'm so pleased to say, have been active, willing, really spent some time together. We've gotten to know each other well over the last few weeks with some meetings and some discussion, and I'm excited going forward. And several of our board of directors are here tonight. Just so you know, they're representing. One thing that's likely to happen is fewer events, but stronger events of lesser number, which is a benefit to all of us. We don't have to get into those details tonight. I know we're going to be talking some in the coming months. I do want to mention and promote, if I may, just some things coming up. June 20th is the Juneteenth celebration. That'll be on Main Street, and while we are not responsible for the planning of that event, Tazewell today does partner with the Friends of Juneteenth Committee, helping some organizing and planning. A lot of their funding channels through Tazewell Today's account because they're not a certified 501c3. We need to get into those details. But that's coming up. It's going to be a big day. Hope people will come to that. July 3rd at Tazewell Middle School will be Tazewell's annual 4th Fest. It's going to be good. Lots of attendance. That's, of course, a free event for the public. Fireworks will cap off the night. There will be a DJ that night. It will not be me. I'm at church camp through that night, and I just wasn't willing to give up that time with our kids, I'll be honest with you. Kevin Chris is going to DJ instead. He's far better than me. A couple of inflatables for kids, some food trucks, just a fun event celebrating our nation, really representing our town well. And then the big event for the summer will be Main Street Moments, Friday night, July 24th, into Saturday, July 25th. And we have been working hard. Friday nights will be family and kids night. There'll be a fun party by the library, thrown by the library. It won't be by the library, it'll be in the stage area. There's a magician coming for an hour. We're going to have games on Main Street, a couple of inflatables, fire department, the sheriff's office, the police department, Head Start's going to be recruiting, those kind of things. A couple of food trucks. There'll be music. We'll be having some music, a DJ that night, and that will cap off Friday night. Saturday, it'll be from 10 to 3 on Main Street. Lots of vendors, full day of entertainment in the stage area. A couple of local companies, some local bands, a regional band that capped off by Mackenzie Phipps that evening. As you know, she was a contestant on The Voice, grew up in Bluefield, Virginia. So we're excited for that. If you have Facebook, you've been seeing it well promoted. I'm so excited to mention this. We approached the Tazewell Farmers Market about coming to Main Street for that day. They're going to move the Farmers Market to Main Street for the day of Main Street Moments. And we're going to provide a couple of signs. Welcome to the Farmers Market on Main and directing people to Main Street from the pavilion just in case they show up. That has the potential to be really big. We are wanting vendors. If you know somebody, send them our way. If you have any ideas, send them our way. If you have any complaints, you can send them to town manager. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's all I have for tonight, but if there are any questions or if I didn't mention something, please feel free to let me know. Well, that's pretty cool. And do I get pictures with the mayor?
All right. Thank you, Nick. Next is the Industrial Development Economic Development Authority, IEDA chairperson's 5 is on this, but do we have an update?
So the IEDA met the first Monday of the month, this was last week, I believe. We kind of just tied up some loose ends whenever some things had been ongoing. We talked about the I think there was a business that had an e-bag incentive agreement. They were trying to get that wrapped up. The pavilion, the Quick River Pavilion, that project is very well maintained now and in process of having the farmer's market. And I think in July, we're going to start trying to advertise more heavily that we'll let people know it's available for rentals. Another thing that was discussed was the police department. Thank you, Stan. They have been going by and checking the pavilion, making sure that everything is kosher down there, so thank you very much for that. What else do we talk about, Brad?
Sorry, I'm checking on stuff. You brought the idea.
Yeah, I think that was. Of course, Brad says we talked about Millie Wagner. Do you want to give an update on that?
Of course, I gave one this last month, but we're still in the process of moving forward. The dedication is still October 17th. Billy, as a statue, is currently in Texas at the forge there, being put into pieces, and then he'll be reassembled back in South Carolina probably in early September. As you notice, we broke ground on May the 18th. Actually, for this week, it was scheduled for the start of the excavation for the statue base. And the walls, we're still waiting on our report though from Eric Guest from White House Engineering. He's had the information that he needed from us about 10 days now. So I know I spoke with our site coordinator, Dick Landers, earlier this morning about reaching out to Eric again to get that information from him, because he's going to detail what he is recommending specifically for the fill material for the actual foundation location, not only 57 stone and crusher run, but also the structural steel that would go in there to be able to support the granite. The granite will roughly weigh, right, we've got two estimates in terms of size on that. It's a 3 by 3 by 6 piece of granite that Billy will rest upon top of the statue itself, and it will probably run between 5.5 to 6.5 tons. So it's going to be pretty sizable rock.
It's going to be so up there, I tell you that.
So, well, there's going to be a little bit deeper one that will go there for the actual foundation for the statue, but that's already been planned for. There will be a pump put on site to handle any type of, if we get any heavy rain. We had heavy rain today, and it didn't affect it at all. I was really surprised. And I know I haven't heard anything from John or Sharon that they've had any issues with regard to their building and the efforts they did to mitigate the water runoff in that easement that was granted in by the town. So everything's progressing as planned. Still raising money. We have brick deadline sale. If anybody wants to order a brick, it is June the 19th. So we still have plenty of those available. We need, if you're going to get an order to us, please do it soon, because we have to send all those off to have them printed, of course made and printed and inscribed, and then sent back to us for our mason when the time comes. That's all I got.
Anything else with that IUDA?
I think that's covered pretty well.
All right, sounds good. We'll move forward. Comprehensive Plan Review Subcommittee, council members King and Klein.
All right, so this is the balance. This is the fun part. This is the want tos. So in the comprehensive plan, we've been formed by a subcommittee made up of the Planning Commission, the IEDA, and Mr. Glenn and myself on the town council side. We've met several times. The intent of this document is to cast a 5-year vision for what the town's going to be aiming at. We've been working to update that. We are partnered with a group called Gem Cities. Mr. Lake will be here next week, is that correct?
Next month.
Next month.
He will be at this meeting next month.
Okay, so Lake, let me give you his last name. Wardy is his name. I haven't met him in person yet, but Ms. Leanne's told me that he's been very proactive in helping us get this document organized and put together. What we discussed in the comprehensive plan meeting, we have already built out our goals and objectives. So the goals and objectives that the town's going to be oriented towards, Mr. Lake has those, and he'll help us refine them. And then what we spend our time and effort on this for the last 2 months really has been on casting the vision for the implementation plan. The implementation plan is actually pretty concrete in what you intend to hit in the next 5 years. And here's the rundown for it, and then maybe you guys would want to collaborate, add, take away, add something for consideration, because this is going to be built into the product And with, barring any changes from your all's vision, this is what's going to go in there. Taking a line out of your book, if we're having achievable targets, we narrowed it down to 4 targets. The first one is workforce and small business development. So this is going to focus on the North Tazewell revitalization and our component in it. We've been very passionate about planning for properties that we own, because the previous comprehensive plan had properties that we did not own, and it's hard to make improvements on something you don't own. So North Tazewell revitalization, we've got facade improvement going, and our efforts are going to focus on 1616 Riverside Drive. Ms. Jordan Dillon, who was here earlier, her phrase for it is a rural trades and ag fab lab. And essentially what this is a entrepreneur incubator space and a maker space. The intent for that building, 1616 Riverside Drive, will be to reduce barriers for small business creation. And it's still in the formulation stage. We've gone into a little bit of planning on it, but think fab lab, so fabrication laboratory, commercial kitchen, those are just some of the ideas that are flowing around now. So that's objective number 1. 2 is public amenities and recreation. And you've seen, we approved the notes, but you've seen the drawings for Gateway Park. This is at the former Rainy lot. Our goal here is to improve the gateway into the town, promote public health and wellness, and of course, improve our youth athletics. And that'll focus on that project and building out that park. The third one that we have on there is to expand on tourism. This is the Grant Mountain Biking project that we've been discussing easements with, and the goal here is to play to our strengths in terms of revenue. So we know that revenue is driven in trans-occupancy taxes, mills taxes, and we want to deliberately focus on diversifying our tourism opportunities within the town of Tazewell. And then the last one is capital improvements. And this one's just local functionality, aesthetics. Goal here is to formulate the C, deliberate improvement, expansion of our current facilities, and then our transportation routes. And a lot of the conversation stemmed around sidewalk improvement on Main Street, and then also expansion past the Clinch River Pavilion and connecting that area of North Tazewell all the way to Lincolnshire Park. So those are the 4 objectives that will go into the implementation plan. Pending any, unless you guys have anything that you want to add, anything you specifically want to see. I guess we've got a month when we meet up with Mr. Lane. That'll be the go time, because he's going to be building out. We've got good drawings for the Gateway Park. We've got good drawings because of the block grant in North Tazewell for 1616 Riverside Drive. But these will be put into the product, and I guess the way it should work is that's going to be the line of effort, which is part of the reason that I say these are big want-tos. Doing the Gateway Park is a major expense, and with that one specifically, I think that we will have difficulty in getting grant dollars because every town needs a park. So balancing our wants, priorities, have-tos, that's going to be key moving in the future. That's all I got. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good list to me. Any other comments or questions? All right, we'll move forward to unfinished business with second reading and approval of the 2026-2027 budget. That's for me. I will find it. Unless anybody would like to waive the second reading, can we waive the second reading on this?
What you went through last time was, I think, that's a consolidated sort of water. I think you need to do that since it is the budget. I think if you stick to that same format, that's pretty brief.
Okay. All right, for the, let's see, we have the hearing. So basically we're going to talk about the general fund, the estimated revenues, total proposed general fund revenues is $7,634,650. The proposed expenditures for the general fund are $7,634,650, balancing those budgets. Revenues equal expenditures. All right, for the water fund, the total proposed water fund revenues are $2,118,034.37. Total proposed water fund expenditures balances out at $2,118,034.37. And then the sewer fund, we got one. Sewer fund revenues, $1,744,079, and proposed expenditures for the sewer fund is $1,744,079. That equals, balances out, sorry. The IEDA fund, estimated revenues are $15,900.34. Proposed expenditures, $15,900.34. Balancing it again. So total budget for all four funds, revenues equal expenditures. With that, that's the second reading of the 26-27 fiscal year budget, and we will vote to, I'll entertain a motion to approve that budget.
I'll make a motion to approve that reading of the budget.
I've got a motion.
Second.
I've got a second. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. The budget for the 26-27 fiscal year is approved. Next on unfinished business is follow-up to council comments regarding town benches. Manager Regan.
At last month's meeting, it was brought up that the town should possibly recognize businesses, specifically restaurants, that had been in business for 20 plus years. Staff did put together a list of eligible restaurants and also included locally owned and franchise. There are 11 businesses that are restaurants that have been in business for 20 plus years. The cost of a bench would be $1,420. 11 benches at that amount equal $15,620. This estimate does not include I'm so sorry, you all have a copy of this in front of you. Excuse me. This does not include any type of labor or concrete pads to bolt to. However, this was brought up and I wanted to report back.
All right, I'll open the floor for discussion on this matter.
At a price like this, I don't think I'd go with it.
I would like to bring up, there are ways that we can actually get free benches, recycling materials, if that's something we would like to look into. And I know people who can do that. There's a lady here actually in the audience, but that we could partner with and we could get benches for free and recycle.
Wood or metal?
They are the composite plastic.
Pretty much all. There's, in front of the Happy Goat, there's a green bench, and it says that one was donated by
The Lions Club. We've got one in front of Main Street down at the church too.
Yeah, now most of them, I think Lions Club may have gotten one. What it is a project, we collect plastic. And for every 1,000 pounds of plastic we collect, we get one of those benches for free. There's also one over at Farm Bureau, in the front of the Farm Bureau, that the staff can sit on because they help us with a lot of the plastic collection. It's a garden club project.
That's not bad, that's from that.
And we can only get one bench a year. So if we could partner with other groups or organizations that they could collect plastic for the other half of the year. We collect our 1,000 pounds in about half the year. But if there would be other groups that would collect, they could collect 1,000 pounds and we could get 2 benches or 3, depending how many groups. Yeah, or 11.
I would like to,
How many groups collect, but they're nice benches. And you can take a look at the one in front of the Hungry Goat. Happy Goat. The goat.
I would love to say, in theory, we could start collecting plastic again at the Stills Lane dump site and do that, but I think one of the major problems that we had with that site was people didn't follow the rules on what was supposed to be placed on the right spot.
I actually think that the problem with the plastic was we could not find anyone to take it.
Okay.
This is a partnership with Food Lion. Elena Combs handles the project.
Okay.
And it has to be a plastic that you can rub your thumb, makes a dent when you rub your thumbnail.
Okay, so like plastic bags.
Plastic bags, the plastic that Farm Bureau gets that wraps things, loaves, anything. The grocery store, I walk through the grocery store and there's bags of plastic around.
So, I would, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, since we don't collect plastic, maybe we could have a sign there at the recycling station that directs folks that want to recycle plastic to Food Line.
Would that be appropriate?
It would be appropriate. Now, we would have to have a couple of other groups that would be willing to, because once we've collected 1,000 pounds in a year, we can only get that one bench. So we'd have to have a couple of other groups that would be willing to take it on as a project so that they could collect 1,000 pounds and get the one bench.
Okay. So maybe we could explore the idea
Of a partnership with another organization?
Yeah.
Okay.
And garden,
That's a lot of money for 15, for what you got listed here. But it would look nice, you know, to have benches at these locations, different locations. But I know one business that, the Italian Village, is the only one that's approached me about it. And they, you know, you got little kids out there eating ice cream during summer, and, you know, it's just, and then the other locations too, but that's what I want to see is something for the people that needs help.
Well, hopefully we can get a partnership set up in a way where we can do this, provide benches for these folks.
Yes.
All right, well, let's move forward. New business. The annual cafeteria plan resolution support.
This is a resolution that we ask for each year. This allows us to offer health, vision, dental insurances at a pre-tax benefit.
Guess I gotta read it.
You or me?
I can read it.
Okay.
Got my signature on it, I guess. Resolution of the Town of Tazewell Council members for the adoption of the Town of Tazewell cafeteria plan. On this date, the Town of Tazewell Council members did meet to discuss the implementation of Town of Tazewell Flexible Benefits Plan to be effective July 1st, 2026. Let it be known that the following resolutions were duly adopted by the Town of Tazewell Council members and that such resolutions have not been modified or rescinded as of the date hereof. Whereas that the form of cafeteria plan as authorized under section 125 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 presented to this meeting is hereby adopted and approved, and that the proper officers of the employer are hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver to the plan administrator one or more copies of the plan, and Whereas that the planned year shall be for the period beginning on July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. And whereas that the employer shall contribute to the plan amounts sufficient to meet its obligation under the cafeteria plan in accordance with the terms of the plan document, and shall notify the plan administrator to which period said contributions shall be applied. And whereas that the proper officers of the employer shall act as soon as possible to notify employees of the adoption of the cafeteria plan by delivering to each employee a copy of the summary plan description presented to this meeting, which form is hereby approved. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Joseph R. Beasley, Joe R. Beasley, sorry, on behalf of the town council certifies that attached hereto as exhibits A and B respectively are true copies of the plan document and summary plan description for Town of Tazewell's flexible benefits plan approved and adopted in the foregoing resolutions. Be it further resolved that I certify and attest that the above resolutions were made with the consent of the full town council, of each of whom were in attendance on this date, adopted this 9th day of June 2026. Okay, I will entertain a motion to accept that resolution.
I'll make that motion.
All right, got a motion and I've got a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Cafeteria plan is approved. Next, Community Development Block Grant Funds for North Tazewell Revitalization Project Resolution of Support. Manager Reed.
So in your packet, you have a resolution. However, I need to make you aware that as we are still trying to get participation agreements signed, your current resolution states that 14 business facades, which is 64%, are blighted properties. As we continue to work through those properties with the property owners, that number of business facades could change. It could actually go lower. We do not anticipate it going any higher. So I just wanted you to know that before that resolution was read.
Okay. So you want to read it as it is?
Yes. You
and that is
read it
true as
is.
of the moment?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution. Whereas the town of Tazewell, Virginia has its primary objective the provision of removal of slum and blight, and whereas the county wishes to apply for the Virginia Community Development Block Grant Funds in the 2026 competitive grant funding cycle, and whereas the title of the town's grant project is the Town of Tazewell Facade Improvement Project, and whereas the county is requesting $1,249,992 of Virginia Community Development Block Grant Funds, and whereas 14 business facades, of which 64% are blighted properties, will be served, and whereas 2 public hearings have been advertised and properly conducted, and 1 other form of public notice and necessary assurances have been executed. And now therefore be it resolved that the town of Tazewell authorizes the submission of this grant proposal for $1,249,992 to the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development for the Town of Tazewell Facade Improvement Project, and designates the mayor as its representative to sign all documents pertaining thereto. This 9th day of June 2026. I will open the floor for discussion or entertain a motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
And the motion carries on a 5-1 vote. And we will move on to the next thing, which is town manager project updates.
Okay. Our Route 460 water line project, Air Guys had a few they were actually tie-ins, so they're tying up loose ends, literally. They were able to complete that work last week. We are getting ready to begin the next portion of our work for the Route 460 project. They began cutting the road today. This part will be going from the red lights at Hardee's on out toward Great Escape. So we did begin that part today as far as cutting the asphalt. The mountain biking project, I am going to work on a grant that is with the Virginia Outdoor Foundation. Right? That is a grant that is opening up this current month. The Rainy Lot project, this was the potential for soccer fields at the Rainy Lot.
Multi-purpose fields. And pickleball courts, Dave.
Excuse me, and a walking track.
That's right.
And green space for families.
How many pickleball courts you gonna have?
There were 6 on the first one.
Yeah, probably 4.
4.
Lord, why not 6?
Parking, we need more parking.
We need parking for you guys to come play.
Parties, the drawings.
All right, go ahead.
So we've been working with Kevin Jones, who is a teacher at Virginia Tech, who is an architect as well. He has received our feedback and will have a second draft to us in July as was anticipated. The sewer line on the Lowe's property, we have had a few discussions with them this past month. We did meet with them and engineering services and held a discussion, and we presented the options to them that were laid out. I gave them a bit of time to think about it. They have come back to say that they are not very favorable of those options that were presented. They have reached back out to me and said, we would really like to do the original plan of you all just redoing the 8-inch line, redoing the 6-inch line with an 8-inch line. And they would like for us to get the fall, which is the way the sewer would flow. They would like us to get that measured out to where it would be accurate and they would not have any other issues. They've kind of stated that it worked until it didn't, and they don't know exactly why it has stopped working, unless it was where part of the line was replaced in the past and the rest was not. So their option that they have come back with is they would like us to do the original work that was said, which is replace the line with an 8-inch line. I have since then turned that back over to the engineering service to say, here is their proposed idea, and we would like for you all to measure the fall for us so it is accurately done, and we would like your all's engineering approval that that is a viable option for this problem. So that is where we are at the moment.
Were you paying for this engineer?
Yes, we are paying for this engineer.
I didn't think we agreed to that.
That's how I was directed at the April meeting, I think.
We didn't vote, did we?
You did not vote, but you gave direction. Unless I'm mistaken.
We told them that we would do what it took to get the problem fixed.
We said we were going to put that pump in and put it in the 8-inch line, and they didn't want that at the time. They said they wanted it engineered. And I said no, because I didn't want to pay for engineering. If our men could put in the 8-inch line and the pump, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not racing to the minutes.
Okay.
I was under the understanding that we would engineer the problem.
To get it resolved,
To get it
so it's
resolved.
a permanent solution.
Because we came up with the 3 plans last month for engineering solutions.
Yes.
It's changed. But, so the 8-inch line is acceptable, and
That would be their preference. So,
That's what we offered in the beginning.
It was.
But their holdup when they came was that actions had been done, but and I think Mr. Lowe actually said the line was in there the right way, but they were concerned about the engineering, the delay, the fall, I guess. They wanted to make sure it was done properly.
Yes. Their concern is they think that there is possibly a belly in the line, so it's not flowing properly. That is what their concern is for that. So, at this point, do I have permission to continue to try and resolve this problem?
I say yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're close.
Being that there's a section, let's.
If it's my property, yes, I want the best to be down there to take care of it. He's living there, he's a resident of this town, and he needs the best to get things solved. So that's the reason why an engineer should be coming in and look at this. Because there's a lot of places in town that's.
Well, why didn't you say that 2 meetings ago, David?
Well, yeah, I did.
I'll make a motion that we continue with you going with engineer service to make sure that the line will be put in correct, and so we can get this fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Okay, the motion carries.
What was it, David?
Oh, I'm just talking.
All right, moving forward.
Paving, hot topic of the night. So, when I first entered this role as interim manager, the Route 460 Waterline project was just coming back to where we could get that going into the beginning stages. I was in numerous meetings. At that time, I was told that paving the actual asphalt for this project would not be covered and reimbursable. At our last Route 460 progress meeting, we found out differently. So I bring you great news. Yesterday, we paved Trevor Street. That was a cost of $14,000. We have got W&L Construction that began paving today on the Route 460 project, which was beginning at the Nationwide Bridge, going back to Peary Street. That is an amount of $230,000 that will be covered by the Route 460 project. Fairmont Street is $32,489. That will be completed by June the 30th to use out of this budget. As part of the Route 460 project, Market Street from Advanced Auto Red Light to the Hillsborough Drive entrance, $43,512. That is anticipated, please hear me, anticipated to be completed by September 30th. Being that we are going from Advanced Auto to Hillsborough, we are going to have a new restaurant that is coming in that location. We are going to have a new clinic that is in that location. We, as far as the town, would like to continue to pay from Hillsborough to Professional Drive to complete that whole section of road. That will also be at a cost of $43,512. The new section that we just began working on today, as far as cutting the asphalt, is the Route 460 project, Hardy's Bridge to Harmon Street. We are going to learn from our, I don't want to say mistakes. Yes.
Opportunities for improvement.
We are going to break this project up. We have to have water tests, pressure tests, every 1,000 feet. So from the red light to Harmon Street is 2,175 feet. We are going to complete that section. We are going to get the water samples, we are going to get it pressure tested, and we are going to pave. Then we will move on to the next section, and that will be Harmon Street to Great Escape. So sorry. I forgot. Hardy's Bridge to Harmon Street, $135,198. And then from Harmon Street to Great Escape, $111,888. So I would like to sum this up for you all. It's very impressive. Total feet of road paved, 11,357 feet, 2.15 miles. Total funds spent, $610,599. That is substantial. So we do have a paving plan. It may not have been written down per se, but this will take us through the end of 2026. This is not beginning in January. This just gets us through this year. Yes, Riverside Drive, 100%. We absolutely agree. However, my manpower is going to be focused on this project, these items, continuing the other streets and the other needs. But 100% yes, we hear you on Riverside Drive. And I'm not saying it can't be done. I just don't want to commit us without knowing I have the availability of my staff to complete that task.
So from the bridge to Great Escape, is W&L doing that paving?
Yes.
So they're going to be doing that?
W&L is procured to do the Route 460 paving. If we use their company as it was procured, we get reimbursed. If we do it ourselves, we do not. If we use another company, we do not. W&L was procured for this project. So that is substantial. And I hope that everyone driving on these roads will
Be happy.
well, not happy, will understand what has went into it.
I'd be happy.
So, that's my update, if you all have any questions.
I do, and I don't know that this is practical for this year, but I'll maybe like to take a look at it. What about paving the air convenience station on Steele Lane?
We could look into that.
I know we have so many roads that need paved.
You can't pave it, you have to concrete that. That's what they did at Baptist Valley. They say the pavement, I've talked to some people, it just, when the trucks back in and out,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would like to let you all know something else. And this is another reason why I have reserves about planning commission with paving. You all heard me talk about lead and copper. That's a project where we're going to have to replace any lead jointed, the galvanized jointed lines. We have quite a few in town. And there are some streets right now that I would love to pave, right now. Here's why we're not. Because within the next 10 years, that's when we have our window for lead and copper. It has to be completed in 10 years. I do not want to instruct my staff to go pave a road, knowing that in a year, in 2 years, we're going to have to tear it up. That does not make good sense, and it's not good use of our taxpayer dollars. So we want to be in the forethought to say, what roads do we have that are in immediate need now that we don't have to replace the water line? And that's something that Planning Commission is not going to know.
Well, again, the point to that, and I'll use the budget again as another example, because you probably have 300 line items within the budget. Your council's not equipped to come up with your budget or present you with options for the budget. So the way that we work it is you do the preliminary work. We have a nice fight over how much to do on paving versus community development, and we work through that in multiple meetings. But at the end of it, we leave with a product that has the game plan for the next fiscal year. And then we strive to, maintain it. And then we have a series of budget amendments. But being manager directed, which is the reason that you have a council manager form of government, having it is, what was it, 6/135, it's in the charter. it's listed there as a requirement. So that's the reason for bringing it up. Now, I don't care if you handhold through it, but having a comprehensive plan for your capital improvements, I still think it's important. So we know what the roadmap, what's coming. But to your credit, and this is, I was going to bring it up when discussing the paving, I had shot Mayor Beasley some notes, and going back and looking at previous budget years, we went from a period in 2022 where we had like $50,000 budgeted for paving for the entire year, 50,000. And we've taken that, you just, what was 643 or something? 616. So it's, I think what's getting us is the deferred maintenance by deliberately neglecting it in years past. It's going to bite us. But since 2024, your term, we've increased that over $200,000 annually. The lowest year I think was like 2025, and we had like 199,000. So we've moved it in the right direction for paving, and we're just playing catch up. That's all. So that's again another reason for arguing for a 5-year plan that gets updated. I did have a question for you on the next meeting for the drawings for the Rainy Lot project. There was a lot of discussion last time. We had it during the day. We were a bit crunched on time. Sounded like folks from the public wanted to come to it. Can we have that at a 5:30 meeting, 6 o'clock meeting or something?
I think that would be absolutely fine.
Maybe we can get some more buy-in that way.
Good. All right, any other questions for Manager Regan? All right, next is, do we have any miscellaneous and new business?
No, I don't.
So the mowing at North Tazewell,
Yes. They were spoken to today, did a ride-along, and they were given till the end of the month to improve.
the theater,
Yes. That was something else we talked about at IEDA. I'm so sorry, I forgot. So an update on the IRF project, which is the theater project. We just had to submit a quarterly update, quarterly update to DHCD. So the theater project is moving. There have been receipts turned in where money has been spent, progress has been made. However, the company that is helping to design the theater, the gentleman who works there, owns it, I'm not sure, but the gentleman was installing an IMAX theater screen and fell to his death.
Not here.
Not here, I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure that's clear.
Not here. So there's a little bit of unsurety as far as working with that company to continue on. There may need to be another design consultant contacted. They're trying to work that out with their company.
In the IRF guidelines, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a due date. It was like 18 months from project start, and then you have to put it in August
the
this year.
12th, I think.
So if that's delayed,
We have contacted DHCD, Susan did for us last week, to see, because of this uncontrollable circumstance, is there a possibility of an extension? And they have said yes, that there would be.
so the month, is it 2 months end of the year?
They did use some leniency on that to determine the parameters for it. I think they were agreeable with up to 6 months. So.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring that up.
I just get asked at a while.
Understood.
So Lee, and I have 3 quick things for you.
Yes.
First one, I don't know if there's anything we can do or not, but it was brought to my attention on Hurst Street. When you go around the turn, there's a lot of shrubbery in that area that blocks your vision to see in that turn. And it was asked if the owner could be able to take care of that, or is there nothing that the town can do?
My first thing is that on private
It's on
property?
private property.
Is this in behind your house, Dwayne?
Yes.
Are you speaking of the pine trees on the French property?
Yep.
If it's on private property, I'm not sure what we could have done. Maybe we can contact them. I don't know that we can make them do anything.
Because in the fall, there's no problem. It was just brought to my attention. I told him I'd ask. The next thing is the farmer's market on the right side. When you're looking at it, there is the grassy area. There's about a 2-foot drop off from the grass to the back part where a vendor sits up. That was brought to my attention by the vice chair Saturday. Also, he wanted to know if they have too many vendors, is that the place, that same area, that grassy area, for vendors for overflow? If he could use that for vendors if he needed to?
I would think you want to keep them on the concrete.
Because right now with no striping, the people are parking everywhere. So he said that if it was right there in that little grassy area, you wouldn't have to worry. So
I do not have an issue with that area. However, we're not sure that it's compacted well enough.
it's not.
But I think that they would be well within their means if they needed to extend there, if they were able.
And then the third thing is there was no paper towels in the women's restroom Saturday
That's farmer's market.
at the farmer's market. And then the last one is I sent an email to you and to the new director while you were on vacation about the pool. Is there any way or any thought about little ones being able to come at like 9 or 10 just for the splash pad? Because I've been asked twice now. Because at 12 o'clock they're doing, that's nap time. And then later on, it's really hot. So they were asking if they could, if there was one day, not every day, just one day out of the week that can be dedicated for the youth to use the splash pad.
So the splash pad, there is not a lifeguard requirement because they're not technically in the water. However, we would need a lifeguard on deck, just to make sure that all the littles stayed on the pad and not in the pool. We currently have the pool opening at 12. I'm more than glad to speak with our park director and ask if we could set a day. We could advertise that. I don't think that would be a great expense. Every day may be difficult, but I think we could pick a day.
No, she just asked for one day.
Hey, what do you think about pairing that with like an adult swim, like a lap swim? Maybe older. I mean, I don't think you put an age bracket on it, but if you do have to have the lifeguard there anyway, and the facility's going to be in use and staff for that one day. I'm not saying I'm married to it. I'm just saying, like, is that something that we can pair with it to make more sense, and then you can make another $1 or $2 on entry?
So you're saying have people in the pool early?
Just on the lanes.
Just on the lanes, like
It's
like a workout.
Do you still do like the adult swim?
Adult swim.
I'm still full of crap.
Yeah, but there's not different criteria for lifeguards, correct?
The Red Cross is, their stipulation is for every 25 swimmers, you have to have one lifeguard. So if we have one lifeguard on duty, you have more than 25 swimmers. And I don't know that that's right.
I don't think that you're going to have that much traffic. It's 11 a.m. You're in the middle of the day, but your senior citizens might be able to get out there and do some pool yoga outside.
So the thought bears more thought.
That makes sense. I'm going to tax break.
My brain bear more thought
Well, it's
All right.
not 10, so.
All right. So that wraps up the miscellaneous discussion. Do we have any miscellaneous public comments signed up? No miscellaneous public comments?
Actually, in a sense, we do. This gentleman sitting here is Mr. Chandler. And Mr. Chandler bought the old upholstery place at the other end of the street.
The old arrow upholstery.
Yeah.
So, since 21, I've been working on this motorcycle shop called Iron Roads. And I'm currently working on trying to progress into a grant to move forward with this building, trying to renovate it. I have Amanda help me. And I just wanted to let everybody be aware of, look forward to making this town better, trying to provide some employment.
What all do you have to do at the business?
It needs quite a bit of renovations. So downstairs, we're going to do retail sales, we're going to put a garage on the side, and also apply an Airbnb at the top.
Now, you did say that you were working with Amanda.
Yes.
Ms. Hale.
Yes.
On some grants. But I just want to make sure that we do everything as a town and council to help him.
He was going to be on their council agenda next month to.
We can't wait 30 days, we got to get money flowing.
Well, the grant just opened
It is,
right now. It's due in, opens in July, and it's due in August. So
And
we
the other
were going to
side-
have them at our July meeting.
So Mr. Chandler actually lives in the property in behind the Ramey lot, the road that goes that way, so,
On the hill there?
Yes.
yeah.
That property, does it have tanks? Like, so with our Clinch River Pavilion project, I mean, we were able to work with brownfields. And if there were pumps there at one point?
I've heard that story.
Yeah.
I cannot say there is. I don't know if they're still there. I don't even know if there ever was. I've just heard the story.
Okay. And Amanda, she'll know this. But
Yeah, I think she is researching that.
Yeah, the brownfield might be something to look at.
Yes. If I see this one, that y'all be aware. Something good.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, appreciate it.
I'd like to say, Ms. Hurst out there at the rec park, as a senior citizen failed, and she did a good job in responding and helping the senior citizen back to her feet. She had her sugar was way high, so I recommend her.
Thank you, I'll let her know.
She's done a good job.
Any other council comments?
I got a quick one. Just watched it for a few years, and I don't know if it's advertised. The Dr. G Scholarship Fund, do we use that annually? Do the kids get awarded? I don't think we've ever seen them
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we pick 2 each year. Each
Okay.
year, 1 boy, 1 girl.
Okay,
And it's already been awarded.
nice.
They sign up through their guidance counselors at school, and then the applications are given to Jessica. And she picks out some that says, Lynn.
I partner with Leanne and we review and make our decision.
But there are 2 awards, and $1,000 apiece.
Could we invite them to the council meeting to be recognized?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Get the photo. Yeah, you want photos? I'm the one who get in. Oh, you All right. Any other council members?
I do have one thing.
Sincere gratitude to Susan a couple weeks ago. I think Rick Lane's town manager was on vacation. Their dump truck, or trash truck went down, and I think you were very instrumental in allowing them to borrow one of ours, and so he was very thankful for the quick response, and he said you were wonderful to work with.
Good job, Susan.
Any other council member comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. I got a motion? I got a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.